Evening peeps, welcome back to the channel. Oh, you're not meant to be looking at that. Look at that. You've just seen the We Are Driven intro. We Are Driven are still pushing Archie's journey, still pushing Bradley Lowry Foundation. So make sure you get yourselves over to Facebook, click all those like buttons, go sign yourselves up with We Are Driven as well, get involved. It's all about just promoting stuff. And then get yourselves over to justgiving.com/campaign/Archie's journey if you can, please. Now you can look at that. So we're back tonight, round 2 of the CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup, hosted by TANSO. Season 9, round 2 for you lot. We are live tonight from Circuit du Spa-Francorchamps. My best French, terrible accent. But that's what you're getting tonight. Right, let's have a look at some scores then before we get into this lobby. So after last week, LWR Millerman leading the way with 53 points. Bajonski second with 49 points. Rob Scott in third with 43 points. Cutler 182 in fourth with 41 points. We've got Graham Reed's fifth with 38 points. We've got Duds in sixth with 36 points. Bogus Begbie, Duds in sixth, 36 points, yeah. D-Dot in 7th with 35 points. Bogus Begbie 8th with 33 points. One-Eyed Lou in 9th with 25 points. We've got Old Crawler 1958 with 10 points. Jump down to the bottom half of the table. We've got Conrad Racing in 11th. No points on the board yet. I don't think he was able to race last week. Same for Kaz Converter. Same for TRG Aldo. And the same for Tatey, unfortunately. 0 points for all of those at the minute. I could have missed that bit out, couldn't I? Never mind. Right, don't forget people, plenty of merch available, t-shirts and stickers. Get hold of me at the Facebook page or at darksmoker@googlemail.com if you fancy any of that. Qualifying underway then. So how long have they given for qualifying? 15 minutes. Okay, yeah, they were saying 10-minute qualifier, but yeah, it's a little bit short here at Spa. Doesn't give them very long out on track. So in the meantime, while they're on their outlaps, we'll have a quick look and see who's in the room. We've got Pajonski. We've got Cutler 182. We've got new driver DMK Dominator 3. So we'll have to see how he gets on tonight. In the minis, One-Eye Lou, DK. Stop it. Graham Reed's in the house. Stop it. Bogus Begbie, D.90, LWR Millerman, Old Crawler, CRT Kaz Convert. So that is Kaz Converter from last season. TRG Tatey's in the house. Duds is in the house. Rob Scott 12. Last season's winner, and TRG Aldo in the house. Oh dear, Graham Reed's left the room and Graham Reed's has come back to the room. I wonder if he was glitching out a little bit. Well, at least we're in open practice, so people can come and go to try and lose that glitching. But right, let's get ourselves on track. Let's find the first man out, put the usual nonsense on for you lot. Who's that? Johnski had to do the same thing. Possibly. So we'll stick with Millerman. Forget half these corners, I know it. This is not the bus stop because the bus stop doesn't exist anymore. It's just the chicane. So onto this start finish straight then. Let's change that view up a little bit. Down towards turn 1 La Source, almost hairpin. It runs itself downhill as well, a little bit tricky. You're going to see a bit of door banging going on through there in turn 1, no doubt. It's a full 50-minute enduro for you lot tonight. So down the hill through the infamous Eau Rouge Radion onto the Kemmel. Just running out a little bit of steam up the hill in 6th gear, giving it full beans down the Kemmel straight then. Les Combes or is this Poubon? I forget. It's a French name and it's turning right. Into the left again. Just got to be a little bit careful through there as well. Don't want to lose traction with these little minis. Small and short, and as you know, good handling they've got. Once they do let go, they let go pretty wildly. Dunlop then down into what I commonly call Dave. I can't remember what the real name of the corner is, but it got named Dave about a year or two ago, and that's what it stayed as. Tricky little corner this one as well, almost double apex, so hit first bit, run out wide a little bit, come back in to hit second apex. Just got to be a little bit careful on the outside of that, so you don't want to hit the AstroTurf at absolute full tilt. Hard on the brakes again. To this right-hander, straight into the left. I've got a track map somewhere, I'll try and dig it out in a minute, people. Into corner. Sounded very professional at all, am I now, hey? And then that one, right, down towards this one, which is Blanchimont. I know that one. See if I can find that little. Gonna have no trouble through Blanchimont in these minis. Absolutely pegged through here, full tilt into 6th gear. Just got to watch them run out on the exit, but should be okay in these. Back down to where we caught up with him at the chicane. Hard on the brakes again, into the right. Pit entrance there on the right hand side, into the left, back onto the start finish straight. Handful of wheel spin as he comes through there as well. Sticks in a 2:44.6 then does Millerman. Alright, let's go and see what everyone else is up to. Old Crawler just coming across the line. 2:47.9. D-Dot into the pits. Tatey into the pits. D-Dot's on a set of hards. Tatey's on a set of mediums. We're still just in this qualifying session. Let me just have a quick look at race settings. Yes, tyre wear is off. I thought so. Fuel depletion off as well for the long stints. So let's see. These drivers probably been around the track twice now, although some drivers have chucked themselves in the pit, so that's going to not show a hot lap for them. So Millerman still out front, 2:44.6 for him then. DMK Dominator, new driver to the league, 2:45.7. He's got second, but you may see these times come down anyway. So we'll see what he's got. Colour 182, he's got a 2:46.0. Third place. Aldo in 4th currently, 2:46.2. One Eye Lou currently sitting in 5th, 1:46.6. Old Crawler in 6th, 2:47.9. We just saw him cross the line. Bogus Begbie, 2:49.1. Tatey and Aldo side by side. Tatey, he's got a 3:33. It's on an out lap, yeah. I saw a couple of drivers come in the pits. D-Dot's also just come in the pits as well, so no hot lap on board for him. Duds, he's got a 2:39.7, but it's not showing up. Must have picked up a penalty somewhere around that track. Cas Converts, 2:47.6, same thing, not showing up blue, so possible penalty round there. Rob Scott in 12th, same thing, 2:37. Graham Reed, no hot lap yet, just coming into these last couple of turns. See what you've got, Graham Reeds. a bit of time on the way through there. Oh, maybe missed a gear as well. 2:48.9 moves himself up to 7th. Who else have we not looked at? Rob Scott, Pajonski then. He's the only driver, I think, not to have put a lap in so far. Let's see what he's got. He might be on performance enhancing drugs tonight, people. He's been called out. If he wins, he's got to send a sample to Cutler 182. I don't want it. Pajonski then. Might have to get that test out, Cutler. 2:44.7. Chucks himself into 2nd position. Just 0.3 of a second back from Millerman at the minute. He's got a little bit of a tow from Old Crawler running down the hill as well. That'll benefit him on his next lap. Or is he backing off? What's he doing? No, still full tilt down here. 4th into 5th. Tow down the Camel then off Old Crawler. That might increase his chances of an extremely hot lap here. See what he's got set to wise when he comes across the timing line any second. He's back a little bit, 0.16, sorry. Old Crawler just hampering those efforts from Pajonski at the minute. I think I did see a little flash of the lights. Side by side, the two drivers. So Dominator still holding that 3rd at the minute with a 2:45.7. You have to let me know what DMK stands for. Aldo up into 4th, just gone a bit quicker, 2:45.7. As I say that, Rob Scott decides he's going to sneak in there into 3rd with a 2:45.001. He's on the low-fat chocolate diet this season. So almost 11 minutes into quali, Millerman still leading. He's actually gone a little bit quicker there. Look, 2:44.418 for him. Just trying to bridge that gap between himself and any other of these drivers. Pajonski then into 2nd. Again, if he wins tonight, we're getting the officials in, FIA officials. Rob's got that 3rd place then, 2:45.0, pushes Dominator down to 4th position. Oh, who's left the... Who's left there? Come on. Come on. Oh, it was Aldo. Was it Aldo? I'm sure it was Aldo into 4th. Which pushed Dominator down. 2:45.7. Oh no, okay. Aldo then 5th. 2:45.7. Cutler 6th. Putting a little purple sector there, a bit messy on the way out of that corner, but we'll stick with him. Again, little purple sectors. Maybe going for fastest lap here if he can get around these next few turns. Again, no tyre wear on the qualifying or the race tonight. Certainly isn't for qualifying. The chicane to go then for Cutler. What's he got? What's he got? Can he go quicker? He's just under 2/10 with that last split. And he does. 2:44.408. 100th quicker than Millerman. Where's he out on track? A long way off a timing line at the minute. 13 minutes into qualifying then. They will get to finish any laps they do start, so there's still opportunities if they can get to the start-finish line before the 15-minute countdown runs over. Right, next turn. Split time. What have you got, Millerman? purple. You will see another lap after this though. Again, Cutler's still out on track though, nonetheless. Pajonsky into third, then Rob Scott fourth. Now Dominator's in fifth. Aldo 6th, D-Dot 7th. Gone a little bit quicker, 2:46.2 for him. If you want to watch from a driver's point of view, I can imagine D-Dot's probably streaming this from his point of view. It's lively. Yeah, good lad, D-Dot. Did alright at the MRC karting event as well. That's only because he weighs about as much as my cup, and that's without coffee in it. One I lose 7th then, unable to better that 2:46.6 on lap 2. Old Crawler, lap 3, 2:47.2. Tatey, 2:47.7. Bogus Begbie, just catch him going back on track, 2:48.0. Duds in 11th, then 2:48.2. Graham Reed's 12th. Again, looks like he's left the lobby and come back. No hot lap to show at the minute, but he is, what is he? 0.7 back from Duds, so that would put him on about a 2:49. Cas Converter, unfortunately, 6 seconds down, 2:55.6 her fastest. Obviously not putting the hours in at Spa. Can be a tricky little circuit to learn. So 15 minutes ticks over then. Whatever lap they're on, they will finish. Who have we got crossing the line? Cutler just coming over now. While we've been chatting, Millerman and Pajonsky have both gone quicker. Wow, Pajonsky goes wild through the chicane. Pajonsky goes 300ths quicker than Millerman. After Millerman had just taken 0.2 out of Cutler's quickest. So it is Pajonsky back on pole. I'm ringing the FIA now. Oh, I can't, no. Who's the Japanese bloke? Yamajuki Tayachi or whatever his name is, who make PlayStation. I'm ringing him. So Pajonsky on pole then for the Enduro tonight. Millerman in second, Cutler in third, Rob Scott fourth. TRG Aldo is going to be fifth, unless these boys can better these laps. DMK holding 6 at the minute. Old Crawler 7th. D-Dots given up at the minute, and that's going to be the end of his lap for sure. Sitting in 8th. Duds in 9th. He's not trying again. 2:46.5 for him then. Lou just getting himself back on track. Not going for a hot lap. Tatey, not sure what Tatey's doing. Not sure what Begbie's doing. Tyre wear's not on, boys. You're never going to get through a set of tyres. Graham Reeds, are you still out on a hot lap? I don't think you are either. I think you're maybe. Aldo 13th and Cas Converter 14th at the minute. Pajonsky just cruising round then, 2:59. Rob Scott's done holding 4th. Dominator, were you on a hot one? Were you on 2:29 already? Will this one count? He's not quicker anyway, so he holds 5th. And that's pretty much everyone done and dusted now. So it's going to be Pajonsky on pole. Millerman 2nd, Cutler 3rd, Rob Scott in 4th position, new driver DMK Dominator in 5th. Again, see how he gets on, doing alright in quali there though. Okay, so a little bit of a break just in between qualifying and the race, just to give the guys a chance to go and put on whatever tyres they want to the start of the race, and give their arms and legs a little bit of a rest before we hit this 50-minute enduro. Don't forget to hit that like button, people. I can see you watching. So Pachonsky possibly using performance enhancing substances tonight. So he might be disqualified from this one. That is just a joke, by the way. I'm going to be running with it all night. Is that you, Graham Reeds? You being... yeah. How far stretched out will they be by the end of the race? I think there'll be a fair few lapped drivers tonight. No offence, lap drivers. Yeah, if you know this circuit, you can get those lap times down. If you don't know this circuit, yeah, it's real tricky to get the lefts into the rights, etc., etc., without causing chaos and sticking yourself off track at least. A few more seconds till this race kicks off then. Booyah! On the side of Millerman's car. Starting on the hards, actually, Millerman. You're going to go hards. Johnson's on the softs. So that'll have to remind me for tyre wear on for the actual race. Begbie giving Rob Scott a bit of a nudge there. Sneaky practice starts for Rob Scott. Look around the back of the circuit where nobody else is looking except us. He doesn't know that we're watching him. Doesn't know we're watching his sneaky practice starts. Look, someone's coming up behind him now. He's going to pretend that he's crashed. Pretty much everyone just chilling out at the minute, waiting for this race to kick off. Bogus. Going to practice his starts in reverse then, that would have been fun. Look at those shadows, look at that. Some graphics that is, isn't it? Go. Tyre wear set to ×8. Fuel depletion set at ×2. That's going to upset the apple cart, that is. So just wait for Mr. Cutler to set this grid then. Hopefully it's a clean race into turn one. Again, it's a very tight, well I say tight, it's quite a wide open corner. But nobody wants to take the outside line round La Source, do they? Everyone wants the inside line, the tightest, quickest line through there. And you're going to have 14 drivers all vying down on each other for positions. Then all running down the hill. Hopefully all clean and professional like. What happened there? That's not what I did. That's more like it. There you go. Come on then, Mr. Cutler. There you go, that's it. Out. You know, we're only seconds away. There you go. Here we go then, live for round 2 of the CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. On pole, can he hold it into turn 1? Hopefully everybody gets away cleanly. 50 minutes coming up. Times 8 on tyre wear, times 3 on fuel depletion. Lights are on red then, we wait for them to drop green. They're away. Nobody stuck on the grid, that's good. Jostling the position, Pajonski holds on to the lead though into turn 1. Cutler sneaks down the inside for second. Can he hold on to it? Pajonski's run a bit wide. He's on the AstroTurf on the outside, but he's held on to it. Lost a bit of speed there. Let's hold on to that lead. So Pajonski first, Cutler second, Millerman in third, Rob Scott in fourth. Aldo 5th, D-Dot, oh D-Dot just getting through to 5th then. You might see moves happening up here as well. Big long straight for the overtakes to happen. Rob Scott getting back through to 4th under pressure from D-Dot though. Now Aldo coming up the inside, 3 wide as they come into the end of the Kemmel. Oh, it's all gone a little bit wrong behind. Who's that in the background? One Eye Lou. Oh. Got the Kemmel straight all a bit wrong, I think. Got tied up with Aldo by the looks of it. Just relinquishes that final position. Oh no, he doesn't. Bogus Begbie. Bogus Begbie. What's happened to you? Parked up, ghosting out. Not sure. So Pajonski still leading then. Millerman. Well, Bogus has left the lobby. Maybe getting involved in that accident as well. So Pajonski leading from Millerman, then Cutler in third, D-Dot's holding fourth, got a little bit wide through there. Rob Scott's looking to come up the inside here. Yeah, D-Dot struggled to keep the power on around that corner. Once you get on that AstroTurf, very difficult to steer, try and get yourself back on the racing line. So loses a position down into 5th. Rob Scott then through into 4th position in the chocolate wagon. Duds holding 6th. New driver, DMK Dominator 7th, so losing a couple of positions from qualifying. Graham Reed's 6th, Old Crawler in... Oh, sorry, Graham Reed's 8th. I don't know why I said 6th. Old Crawler in 9th. Got Tatey in 10th. Kaz Converts in 11. Aldo 12th. And yeah, One Eye Lou at the back of the pack then. A little bit of front end damage for him to look after. A little bit of rear end damage for Aldo to look after. Interesting to see whether they get that repaired when they come in the pits. Whether it's... is it going to repair itself here? I'm not sure if it repairs itself. I can't remember if damage is on light or heavy. So Pajonsky's pulled a bit of a lead. 2 seconds over Miller, the man at the minute. Different tyre strategies going on here though. We've got Pajonsky on the soft, Millerman on the hards. Cutler also on the hard, so Pajonsky just able to pull away then. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I saw something happen, mate. I didn't see you get involved at the start. I saw Aldo and One Eye Lou. Yes, nothing I can do about that. Obviously, I'm just chatting. So top 3, pulling a bit of a gap from 4th. Rob Scott then. Rob also out on the hard tyre. Dominator making up a couple of positions. He's back up into 5th position, putting the pressure on Rob Scott. He's also out on the soft tyre. D-Dot is on the hards. Oof. Side by side with Duds through there. Duds just having to back off a little bit, so D-Dot losing another position. Maybe another if Duds can get anywhere close to him. Duds out on the medium tyre as well, so that'll help him. Graham Reed's also out on the medium tyre in 8th. There's a bit of a gap back to Old Crawler, out on the hard tyre himself this stint. So Tatey on the mediums. Kaz Converts on the softs. Aldo on the hards. And One Eye Lou out on the hards as well. Pajonsky starting to storm away then, so they must, if I remember rightly, they've got to use one of every tyre in the Enduros. So a soft, a medium and a hard. And in whichever order they like. So as you can see, Pajonsky on the soft tyres, just able to pull a bit of gap from those drivers behind at the minute. But it should all even itself out by the end of the race, once they've all been out on different sets of tyres. Millerman also pulling a bit of a gap from Cutler, 1.9 seconds the gap there then. So Cutler out of the slipstream range. Rob Scott in 4th, still under pressure from Dominator. He's going to be wasting those soft tyres if he doesn't get past Rob Scott soon. Into Blanchimont then, still took behind Rob Scott. Now possibly making a move down towards the chicane. Rob Scott still holding the inside line there. Dominator not able to run it side by side, so has to try again. Get ourselves on board. Doesn't look like he's close enough to make a lunge into La Source either here. A little way back. Oh, a tiny bit deep into La Source as well. Not that bad. Still on the tail of Rob Scott running down the hill. Just loses a bit of speed on the exit though. But the slipstream will come into effect down the Kemmel. He'll be getting a bit down here. Rob Scott actually looks like he's closing the gap. There you go, carrying a bit more speed through there as well than Rob Scott. Closing up already on the Kemmel. Okay, working together these two. Bit of bump drafting to try and nudge Rob Scott closer to Cutler. And it's working. Cutler's actually picked himself up a penalty, so he's... Oh! DMK Dominator just carrying too much speed into the end of the Kemmel, nearly taking out Rob Scott. That would have been disastrous for the pair of them after working together. Cutler still trying to lose a penalty in front. He's managed to pick himself up, I think, half a second. Still 0.3 he's got to lose. He's been closed down by Rob Scott. Just Just a second between those two. Still got Dominator holding 5th then, not that far back. Duds has closed the gap up as well. Duds on the medium tyre. Having a good drive so far. A bit of wear on those mediums though for Duds. Oh, he's also run wide on. Who's that? Who's that? I've just heard screeching. Someone's gone sideways. No. Maybe just a bit of tyre squeal going around one of those corners. Did sound like a driver had gone backwards. Oh, Dominate getting that one wrong, although losing all the time to Rob Scott. Now under pressure from Duds. Duds through then. Leaves Dominator plenty of room to try and make a move back up the inside. But Duds way in front now already. Still gives Dominator someone to chase. But Duds through to 5th. Now only 2.4 down from Rob Scott. Looking to close back up as well, Dominator. Down towards Blanchimont. Is he going to work together with Duds to try and close that gap up? Or is he actually looking for the move here? A little bit of a lift through there for Duds. Dominator up the inside. Duds gives him plenty of room still, but Dominator backs out. Oh, wrong way. Holds on to 5th then, Duds. DMK Dominator 6th then. D-Dot closing up on Dominator as well in 7th. Still only a second back. There's a bit of a gap then back to Tatey holding 8th. 4.2 seconds. He's also got Graham Reeds for company and Old Crawler. Aldo closing up on that fight as well. Cas Converter in 12th. One Eye Lou in the pits getting rid of. See on hard tyre. He's got damage as well. So he's getting rid of that hard tyre. 10 minutes into this race. Pajonski now 5.6 seconds up the road. Again, different tyre strategies going on here. Millerman again on the same tyre strategy as Cutler, but Cutler with that penalty has lost a lot of time to Millerman now. The gap's at 3 seconds. Scott still 1.2 seconds back from him. Managed to get himself out of danger from Dominator. Duds all over the back of him. Up the inside through there. Looks like he's going to get it again. Still gives Dominator plenty of space to have an attack back down the inside here though. Holds the line. D-Dot still trying to close the gap up on these two. Oh, Duds, where are you going? I thought Dominator's tyres were just giving out then through that turn, but then Duds goes and chucks it sideways. Loses that position again to Dominator, puts himself back under pressure from D-Dot here. D-Dot done a little bit better on his tyres, again on the hard tyre, so they won't be as quick as the mediums, but last a little bit longer. Duds getting himself back in the slipstream of Dominator as well. Good battle here. Still kicking off behind these three as well, with Graham Reeds now taking the lead of that next pack. Up into 8th then, getting himself past Tatey. Old Crawler just 1.5 back. Sorry, 1.9 now. Aldo again closing that gap up, 1.3 down at the minute. Cas Converts in 12th, 13 seconds down. One Eye Lou back out on track. Damage repaired out on the hard tyre. Were you on the hard tyre anyway, Lou? Oh, he's not changed tyres. Okay. Just coming to get damage repaired. All right. Race leader then 7.5 seconds up the road from second place. Tyres, a little bit of wear on those. Luke Doherty Band, evening mate. Yeah, I'm alright now fella, I'm alright. I'm alright, I just can't cough or sneeze very well at the minute. And obviously I won't be doing any sort of star jumps or anything ever. Yeah, I'm alright mate. So Milliman lost a bit of time to Cutler then, just 0.3 of a second. Pulls himself back out of danger from Rob Scott. That gap now to 3.5 seconds. Still kicking off in this fight behind. D-Dot now looking for the front of this little fight. Gets himself into 5th. Runs a bit wide though. Holds the line, but Dud's coming back at him down the inside. Dominator trying to sneak around the outside. D-Dot has to cut that line off to try and get the racing line back for this next turn. Still kicking off between these three. D-Dot going back down the inside here. Tiny bit of contact between himself and Dominator. Almost through. Dud's still got the inside line into this next turn though. Real good fight between these three. Oof, D-Dot just having to run a bit wide there. Keeps himself in the fight though. Dominator through then past D-Dot up into 6th. D-Dot again just with a wheel on that AstroTurf, making him run a tiny bit wide. Back on the hunt for Dominator then. Sorry, Dud's back into that 5th position. D-Dot still not out of this fight yet. It's only 0.6 of a second back and closing by the look of it. Still on the hunt then for Dud's in 5th. Still a battle kicking off behind these three as well. I'll go and check that out in a minute. I think Graham Reeves has managed to pull a little bit of a gap from that pack behind. Dominator then closing up on the way down towards Blanchimont. Are they going to go full tilt through here? It is for Dominator. Does he slot one up the inside into the chicane? No, he doesn't. Into the pits he comes though. Let's get ourselves back to this next fight. Yeah, Graham Reeves has pulled a bit of time then. Old Crawler still holding that 9. Tatey though looking to get through. Or Tatey's made a mistake. Medium tyres absolutely blown out. Possible he's got a corner a little bit wrong with those tyres. Aldo on the hards still holding that rear end damage, but you can see the difference in tyre wear between the hards and the mediums. Between Aldo and Tatey there. So I think Tatey's just had a little bit of an off-track moment, which has put him down a position and back under threat from Aldo. Kaz converts. 21 seconds down in 11th. Dominator still in the pits now. One Eye Lou, who's been in but didn't take tyres on, he just got his car repaired. Still holding 13th. Johnsky then. Don't get carried away by that lead. He's on a totally different tyre strategy. 8.7 second lead on the softs versus Millerman and Cutler, both on the hard tyre. Cutler taking another couple of tenths out of Millerman's time there. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, Luke. Is it coming down another 2 tenths down to 2.2 then, slowly closing that gap up on Millerman. It was 3 seconds a few laps ago. He's put in a couple of decent last laps though, a 2:48 and a 2:48. Millerman's done a 2:40, oh the wrong driver, he's done a 2:48.9 and a 2:40 and a low 2:49, so Cutler is just shaving tenths off him lap after lap. Used a lot less fuel as well as Cutler, so he'll spend less time in the pits when he does have to refuel. Let's go and see what Bajonski's fuel's looking like. Very similar to Cutler's, so he's just got to worry about his tyres when he starts losing a bit of time. He's done 2:46, 2:46, 2:47, 2:47, so still running quicker than the drivers behind. Still pulling time on them as well, so he'll stop out until he literally can't hang on to that thing. Cutler then 3rd. Rob Scott now 4.5 seconds down in 4th. Dud's in 5th. Pulled a little bit of time over D-Dot, who's just dropping a penalty through there, so there's 1.7 seconds between Dud's and D-Dot. Dominator dropped himself out of that fight after coming in the pits. Graham Reed's then, after making a break in, holding 7th. Now just 4.7 down from D-Dot. 6 in front of this battle for 8th. Got Aldo, Old Crawler and Tatey all battling it out bumper to bumper. Dominator out the pits in 12th on the medium tyre for this stint. One Eye Lou. The giveaway, I'm using a pad rear end wiggle. Pachonsky then almost 9 seconds up the road from 2nd place at the minute. So possibly going to see him in at the end of this lap. I think he's just starting to see. Yeah, the lap times are coming down now. That gap down to 8.8 seconds, so he is just losing a couple of tenths. Having to brake a little bit earlier, not able to accelerate quite as quickly, not able to carry quite as much speed through the turns. Gap down to 8.8. He's keeping it pretty consistent, but yes, I think we will see him in at the end of this lap. Don't think he's going to risk doing another lap on those tyres. 20 minutes into the race pretty much anyway. It's not a bad stint on a set of softs. Oh, he's managed to extend a little bit now, 9.2 from Millerman, so the hard tyres just starting to show a little bit of give then. Cutler unfortunately lost a bit of time again to Millerman. Brings himself another second closer to Rob Scott. Duds and D-Dot close back up as well. These two are going to have a real good fight, I think, all race. Closing up again, D-Dot. Let's get ourselves on board with Duds. Closing up then. Through Blanchimont. Little lift through there for Duds. That might give D-Dot the look down the inside. Oh, trying to run it side by side. D-Dot just backs off at the last minute. Possibly compromising. Oh, done it again. Wrong way. No, it didn't compromise Duds' exit that much. D-Dot's got to try again then. And yes, their tyres are slowly but surely giving out on them. Just got to be careful. Graham Reed's will slowly close up on these two if they're not careful. Graham Reed's not stopped either yet though. Again, D-Dot closing up on Duds, running down the hill. There is Graham Reed's just in the background coming through La Source. D-Dot might be able to make the move here at the end of the Kemmel. Oh, there's a lift through there for Duds. D-Dot almost running into the back of him. But now onto this Kemmel straight. Will we see D-Dot go for the move? Duds keeping his car right in the middle of the track, not making it any kind of easy for D-Dot. Slides one up the inside here, but oh, tiny bit of contact. D-Dot and T-Dot's back end just catching the front end of Duds' car, but D-Dot is through to 5th. Again, those two have had a good little battle most of the race. Again, Dominator was involved in that as well for a few laps, but he chucked himself in the pits. Okay, I lied. Pachonsky is stopping out on those tyres. He's absolutely going to devastate them before he comes in the pits. Just put a 248 and a 249 in, so that must be a little bit worrying for him. Losing so much time, a 249.3 as well from a 247.6. Wow. So Millerman still putting in 248s on those semi-worn hards. Cutler still putting in, oh, he's putting a 250 and a 249 that last couple of laps. He's lost a bit of time to Millerman. Pachonsky though still braving it out on those worn softs. Will he be in this lap? No. Quite happy on those beating up softs, but they're spitting rubber off left, right and centre. It's another 249, but it's, again, it's a slower 249, a 249.7 this time. Millerman stops out, Cutler stops out. Rob Scott just through that final turn on the hard tyre stops out. D-Dot stops out. Past Duds. Oh, the medium tyres costing Dud some time then in that battle with D-Dot. 2.3 seconds. 2.5 seconds, apologies. So the worn out mediums just causing causing Duds to struggle a little bit through there. You see the gap between himself and D-Dot then. Still not under direct threat from Graham Rees. That gap was at 7 seconds. It's now at 5 seconds. So he has closed the gap up a little bit. Again, his tyres are absolutely beaten up as well. Not stopped. Old Crawler on the hards. Not stopped. Dominator has stopped. Up into 9th. Starting to see a bit of wear on his mediums though. Tatey 10th. Stopped out on a fresh set of softs. Aldo stopped to come out on the hards this stint. One Eye Lou, he has stopped to come out on the hards for his second stint. And then Kaz Converts stopped out on the hards for her second stint. Pajonsky then losing big chunks of time now. The gap down to 7.7 seconds from 9. Millerman closing up on those worn out hards. He's taken those softs to the limit as Pajonsky. Again, that start time still falling. 7.1. Absolutely thrashed those things to death though. Wants to spend as little time on the hards as possible by the look of it. Get the hards in, get the hards on, and then get them off. Get back out on the mediums for the rest of this race. So still got 7.1 between himself and Millerman. That gap definitely coming down though. Pajonsky stopping out again. Has he forgotten? You can pit in this one. Millerman stopping out. Cutler stopping out. Rob Scott. What's he going to do? Stopping out on the hards. D-Dot closing the gap up though. 2.1 seconds between himself and Rob. Also out on the hard tyre for D-Dot. Gap intensifying between himself and Duds. Not stopped yet either. 5.3 seconds back. Graham Reed's just chucking himself into the pits now then. Does that give Dominator the position back? It's a fair old run down this start-finish straight, and the pit exit is actually on the opposite side of La Source. Still in the pits at the minute. Graham Reed's not been released yet. See him. Oh, okay, so he's just been released now, so Dominator is going to get back through, but he's got to stop again. There's Graham Reeves just coming out of the pits then behind Tatey and Aldo. So time dropping now then 5.9, 5.8 seconds between Pajonsky and Millerman. Picked himself up a penalty as well there, Pajonsky. That time coming down now. Really ought to come into pits this lap, Podjonsky. Even with performance-enhancing drugs. Cutler then still not able to close up on Millerman. Both drivers on the hard tyre. Very similar in where Cutler holding a little bit more fuel than Millerman. Shouldn't make that much difference when it comes to the race though. Is Cutler looking to no stop this race? 22 minutes, so we're over the halfway mark. He's got just under half a tank. Set of hards that have, okay, they've seen 9, nearly 10 laps of this circuit. They could probably do another 8 or 9. Podjonsky is in the pits this lap though. Millerman goes through to take race lead, then Cutler's going to come through to take second. Podjonsky still holding plenty of fuel. He might be able to just get some tyres on and get back out here. It is a fair old length of pit straight though, this one. Dud's also in the pits this lap. His tyres giving up on him on those mediums. Podjonsky in now then, again only just reaching his pit box. Tyres going on, no fuel for him, he's quite happy with that. Back out, fresh set of softs, so no, it's all entirely up to you what strategy you run here then. So it does look like Millerman might have to put a splash of fuel in right at the end, but Cutler might be able to make this whole race here on that one tank of fuel and the hards. So Rob Scott through into third, also on the hards, also maybe no stop in this race. D-Dot on the hards, also very similar, a little bit less fuel than Cutler. Old Crawler still on the hard tyre. Oh, under pressure though. Podjonsky coming through with those fresh set of softs. What is he? 30 seconds down from race leader. We'll keep your eye on that. 20 minutes remaining. We've just seen how long he's managed to take a set of softs. Full 30 minutes he's gone. "45 seconds in the pit lane." Cool. So he won't want to get tangled up in traffic. He's got quite a clear track in front of him. So if he can get some good laps in, bring that time down between himself and race leaders, it should all come to a head just as it gets to the last lap or so. Already a second and a half out of the race leaders, down to 28.5 seconds the gap. Millerman though out front for now, 7.8 seconds over Cutler. Again, Cutler's just got a bit of a penalty he's got to lose. Tyre wear looking very similar between Millerman and Cutler. Again, Cutler just carrying a little bit more fuel than Miller. I think, yeah, 19 minutes remaining. I think Miller's going to have to put some fuel in with only a quarter of a tank left. Rob Scott holding third. Oh, Cutler, he's in the pits. He is going for a set of tyres. Or maybe a splash of fuel himself. So that does release Rob Scott then into second. D-Dot comes through to third. Podjonsky's going to come through to take fourth here in front of Cutler. Is Cutler sticking on a set of softs to try and take it to Podjonsky for the final stint? Well, we'll have to wait and see when he comes out. In the meantime, Millerman continues. 12.3 seconds over Rob Scott currently. Both on the hard tyre. None of these drivers stopped yet. D-Dot not stopped yet either, also on the hard tyre. Podjonsky into fourth then. Now we're only 26, or nearly 26 and a half seconds off of the race leader, so taking chunks out 10 seconds back from D-Dot. We'll keep an eye on that. 9 seconds back from D-Dot. Can Rob Scott close that gap up on Miller? Again, going to be difficult on a set of worn hards. Same for D-Dot. Bajonski's just got to make sure he doesn't, well, like I say, it doesn't matter if he thrashes the pants off of me. He was still putting half-decent lap times in with a beaten up set of softs. So Cutler holding 5th then, 22.5 seconds down. He has put a set of softs on. Gone for exactly half a tank. So he can thrash this little Mini to within an inch of its life for this race then. DMK Dominator back up into 6th on the medium tyre. They're looking a little bit worse for wear again. Whether they'll last another 16.5 minutes is yet to be seen. He might have to come in for a little bit of maintenance on those. Aldo then 7th. Again, a set of hard tyres on for him. Fresh set. Tatey in 8th. Worn out a set of soft for Tatey. You can see just letting go around that turn. Dud's able to try and bring it back up the inside. That fresh set of softs just working well. One corner, one position there for Duds. Graham Reed's 10th, so out on that medium tyre, second stint. Millerman now in the pits at the... Is he going to relinquish the lead? Rob Scott comes through. He's not going to stop again yet. D-Dot also comes in. So that releases Bajonski. Come on, give me Bajonski. There he is. Where is he now? Second position, 9.1 seconds down from Rob Scott. 15 minutes remaining on a reasonably fresh set of soft tyres. He's just done 30 minutes on a set, so fastest lap of the race there. Again, 2:45.8. Closing up on Rob Scott. Rob on the hard tyre. Cutler still 22.2 seconds down. His tyres are a lap fresher than Bajonski's, maybe 2 laps fresher than Bajonski's. So let's see if he can make those work for him a little bit. I don't know whether he'll be able to close up all that time. He's now got Millerman back out on track in front of him, also out on a fresh set of racing softs. So Rob Scott is the person, unfortunately, who's going to get caught here. 7.8 seconds between himself and Bajonski. There is Bajonski just coming down into this hairpin. So Millerman 20 seconds back now. Cutler another 1.6 back from him, so still pretty much 22 seconds down. .30 seconds down from race leader. Again, that will drop if Rob Scott comes in the pits. If he comes in the pits, he might brave this out on that set of hards. Again, he's losing a lot of time to Bajonski though. With that, with the 2 drivers behind him also on the softs, they'll be closing that time up just as quickly as Bajonski, if not a tiny bit quicker. Rob Scott out. Rob Scott in first out on the hard tyre. Second, third and fourth all on a fresh set of softs. Dud's back into 5th. His softs aren't working well for him at the minute. Aldo into 6th on the hards. See how long he can hang on to that for. Graham Reed's on the mediums. 3.4 seconds down. Ooh, wheel on the AstroTurf. D-Dot back out of the pits in 5th then. Oh, he's gone for mediums for the final stint. Okay, I'm surprised he didn't stick a set of softs on. And old Crawler all over the back of him. Also on a fresh set of medium tyres, piling the pressure on D-Dot here. Looking for that 8th position. D-Dot having to take those tight lines. So Dominator been back in the pits out on a fresh set of soft tyres. 16 seconds down from old Crawler at the minute. Full minute 10 seconds off of race leaders, unfortunately. Strategy not quite working out for him tonight. Tatey 11th then, back out on a fresh set of softs for the last stint. Old Crawler on the mediums. Sorry, One Eye Lou. Why did I say Old Crawler? Cas Converter holding 13th. Almost a minute back from One Eye Lou, unfortunately. Here we go then. Rob Scott being hunted down by Pajonski. There's a driver in between them. I can't imagine it's going to take long for Pajonski to close this gap up. Already down to 3 seconds. He has lost a second to Millerman behind him, possibly trying to get through. Oh no, no traffic behind him. Kaz just staying out of the way. So the gap down to 2 seconds then between Rob Scott and Pajonski. On board with Pajonski as he goes on the hunt for this first place. Millerman holding third, 19.5 seconds back. Cutler another second or so back from him as well. Is Rob Scott is he gonna bother pitting? 11 minutes left of this race. He can keep himself in front of Millerman and Cutler. Again, soft tyres just working so much better than Rob Scott's worn out hards. Not going to be able to defend here from Pajonski, that's for sure. And he'll have to wait for Millerman and Cutler to catch up with him. Doesn't go for a move down the inside there. Holds on to the slipstream as they run down here. Rob Scott sticks his indicator on to tell Pajonski to go round the right-hand side, which he does. Takes race lead then. Rob Scott into second. Again, we'll just have to keep an eye on the gaps between Rob Scott and Millerman now. See whether Rob Scott can hold on to this second position. But Pajonski back into the lead of this race. Led for the full first stint. Scott will be looking to try and get a bit of a toe off him as well. Do anything he can to benefit him on those worn out hards. So the gap between Rob Scott and Millerman is at 17.5 seconds. Just under 10 minutes remaining. Oh, it's going to be close. We'll see what it's like when they come round to finish this lap, because Rob Scott's got to go through all the twisties now. Still just been hanging on to the coattails of Pajonski though. That's benefited him a little bit. Just outside the slipstream range now though for Rob Scott, so won't be benefiting anymore now they've hit the end of the Kemmel. So now he's just got to be a little bit careful on those worn hard tyres. You should see Millerman slowly take chunks out of Rob Scott through here. And the years it's gone from 17.5 down to 16, 16.9. Also pulled time over Cutler. Cutler then 4.1 seconds back. I thought Cutler would be a little bit closer to Millerman. Millerman's car is running a tiny bit lighter than Cutler's though, slightly less fuel on board. His tyres are 1 lap newer as well. And that 17 second is now down to 15.1 between Rob Scott and Millerman. 8.5 minutes remaining. Pajonski's starting to stretch out now then, 3.2 seconds up front. Starting to show a bit of wear on his softs though, but again, he's run an awful long race on the first set. Another second lost to Millerman behind Rob Scott. I don't think Cutler's got anything for Millerman tonight. Does them with a little bit of a penalty to lose, still holding 5th position. Got a fair bit of a gap behind him to Aldo as well. Aldo out on the hard tyre, so not going to be able to be of much threat to Duds, I don't think. Graham Reed's mediums holding 7th. He's got D-Dot closing up though, just 3 seconds down. He's on a fresh set of mediums as well, fresh-ish set of mediums. Dominator then 9th, making up another position. Tatey in 10th. Bit of wear on his softs as well. Old Crawler 11th, fresh set of softs on board for him. One Eye Lou just coming through the source, a little bit wide through there. Reasonably fresh set of softs on in 12th. Kaz Converter 13th. Decent set of mediums on. They'll last until the end of the race. So back up front, Pajonski already pulled 6.6 seconds over Rob Scott. And his gap now down to 11 seconds under. There it is. Again, Millerman pulling time over Cutler, that gap up to 5.1 seconds. Can Rob Scott hold on to this second? Can he do it? CJ, evening brother. Give a D-Dot for the shouts. Where is the Dotster? Holding 8th. 2 seconds behind Graham at the minute. Freshish set of mediums versus Graham's beaten up set. So 6 minutes remaining. Could make an interesting little race here for 7th. Pajonski then pulling more time out. 6 minutes remaining. Rob Scott's gap down to 9.7 seconds. He has got Kaz Converts in between himself and Millerman, but I'm sure Kaz Converts will just stay right out of the way of any kind of fight. Rob Scott goes a little bit wide there as well. That's going to cost him. There's a penalty. Sideways in through there. It's all getting a bit scruffy for Rob. Still holding plus 9 seconds over Millerman though. I'll say that it's just dropped to 8.4, 8.1, 7.9. It's coming down rapidly. Rob Scott, as he's trying to lose that penalty and stay on track and stay in front of Millerman. Slowly, catchy monkey. 4 seconds the gap. Oh, sorry, wrong gap. 6.4 seconds. So it's going to be 2 laps to try and battle it out. I think Millerman's going to catch him. Like I say, I think Kaz Converts will just get out of the way of any kind of battle. So as long as Pajonski keeps his performance enhancing drugs to himself and those tyres in as good nick as he did in the first stint, he should be on for a win here. Already got 10 seconds over Rob Scott in second. Still got 5.1 over Millerman. He's trying everything he can. 4 minutes remaining. There you go. Millerman running around the outside of Kaz Converts. Kaz Converts just braking early, letting Millerman go through. There's Cutler coming down to the source as well. Through he goes in 4th. Still 4.5 back, but under no threat from behind. 19 seconds back to Duds. He's got Aldo 4 seconds back. Another 5 seconds back to D-Dot, who has got himself past Graham Reeds. A little bit squirrely there for Graham Reeds coming out of the chicane as well onto the AstroTurf. His tyres looking worse for wear now. D-Dot through then, making up another place. 3 minutes 30 remaining. 9th then, 12 seconds back for Dominator. Again, fresh driver to this season tonight, or to this series. Not done too bad. He qualified in 5th. Unfortunately, just got strategy a little bit wrong, or pressed maybe a little bit too hard with the tyre wear. And blew out his first set quite early. He's, I think, the first driver to stop, apart from One Eye Lou to repair damage. Tatey, another 17 seconds back in 10th. Old Crawler 11th. Almost 11 seconds back. One Eye Lou a full minute 10 seconds back. And Kaz Converts another 26 seconds back from One Eye Lou. Cutler then looking to get past Cas Converts as well. How are you getting on, Rob Scott? Under pressure now, the gap at 1.8. Millerman will be in slipstream range before you know it. It'll be one more lap as well. I don't think Rob Scott's going to hold on to this second as much as he might want to. He's almost out of fuel as well. He's still got a lap and a half to go. Millerman's got plenty of fuel on. Rob might have to stop for fuel here. He's never making it round a lap and a quarter of Spa on that fuel, I don't think. Not without going for some serious coasting. But yeah, Millerman all over the back end of him now. I think you're going to see a bit of lifting and coasting from Rob Scott here to try and not have to stop. There you go, Millerman through then around the outside at the chicane. Well out of the fight then from Pajonski, 13.6 seconds down. This will become final lap with only 1 minute 25 remaining. Rob Scott still holding third though. He's got Cutler 4.4 seconds back. He might be able to hold on to this final step of the podium if he's very, very careful, or if he doesn't run out of fuel. CJ will be able to tell me whether he'll make it round on that fuel. He loves this circuit. But again, you still might have to see a bit of lifting and coasting from Rob Scott to actually make it round, which will put him under pressure from Cutler. Little lift through there. Full power though. Once he's back out onto the Kemmel, he's not messing about. He's holding on to third, or he's running out of fuel. Nobody catching Pajonski now, 12.5 seconds up the road, not without him putting it in the wall at least. And he didn't do that with an even worse set of softs on the front, so I don't think it's going to happen in this stint either. Millerman then into second, Rob Scott just holding third, 3.6 the second, the gap between himself and Cutler. Cutler on a worn out set of soft, bit of a penalty to lose as well, that might work in Rob Scott's favour. Dud's in fifth then, again having a little bit of race of his own. Aldo closed that gap up a little bit down to 3.2. D-Dot seventh, only 4.4 back. Little mistake here or there could cost him, well not cost him, cost Aldo a position. Again, Graham Reed's just been passed by D-Dot, so his tyres given up on him now I think, so he's not going to be able to put any more pressure on. DMK Dominator, unfortunately 10.3 seconds back, just got his strategy a little bit wrong tonight. Tatey another 16 seconds back, and there it is, into the final lap. It does flick over then. Old Crawley 11th, One Eye Lou in 12th, and Cas Converter in 13th. Done a good job of just hanging out the way. So Pajonski, 11.6 second lead, almost out of fuel himself. Millerman still holding that second. Rob Scott has still got tiny bit of fuel in his tank, but he's got an even bigger Cutler in his rear view mirror at the minute. Still got a bit of a penalty to lose though. It's going to be last ditch effort for Cutler I think, down towards Blanchimont and the chicane. He's not close enough, there's no way near he's close enough. There it is, Pajonski takes the win then, comfortably as well, 10.5 seconds at the end of it. Millerman coming home to take second. Rob Scott in the background. He did get closed up by Cutler in that last little sector, but he does come home to take third. Good drive, Rob. Cutler takes fourth. Duds is going to come home for fifth. I think that was Cas Converter just coming across the line there for 13th. Duds then definitely going to take fifth. Well, unless he does something silly there. No, okay. Fifth then for Duds, sixth for Aldo. D-Dot coming home in seventh. Graham Reed's going to come home and take that 8th place. Dominator coming home for 9th. Plenty of fuel on for Dominator as well. Tatey is going to take 10th. Yeah, One Eye Lou and Cas Converter I think that have crossed the line. Tatey struggling on the chicane there. Where's he gone? There he is. And Old Crawler just coming through right behind him. So 10th for Tatey, 11th for Old Crawler, 12th for One Eye Lou, and 13th for Kaz Converts. But yes, good drive from Pujonski, but now, unfortunately, it's a drug test. Because at 7 o'clock this evening, 6 o'clock this evening, he couldn't race. At death's door, can't do it. And then it came up in the chat that he managed to source some substances which helped him out. Cured all his pain. And here he is racing, winning. And it was said in the chat, if he wins, it's a drug test. So prepare that sample, Mr. Pujonski. Alright, we'll be DNA testing it as well. Well, Cutler will be. So yes, another good race there. Pujonski, though, comfortably taking the win. He had a good lead in the first stint as well. He put the soft tyre on for the first stint. Absolutely battered those to death. Literally did half an hour on those. Took them to down to their core. And the other sort of faster drivers, the Millerman and the Cutlers, were both on the hard tyre for the first stint. So Pujonski was able to make a bit of a break. Obviously Cutler and Millerman ran an awful lot longer on the hard tyre and were able to keep their lap times a little bit more consistent. And then stuck a set of softs on for the final stint, but it just wasn't enough to take it back to Pujonski. And he came through to take the lead of the race again. And there you go. Through to take a win for Pujonskos. Done it again. So it'll be interesting to see what that's done to the table next week. No problem, gentlemen. No problem, Rob Scott. No problem, Cutler. No problem, gentlemen, at all. So that is about it from me. I'm back on Wednesday night, 8:30 for the MRC's Team Oliver Racing GR3 League. That's 8:30. 2 lobbies on that one. Got myself doing pros and down for the count doing pro-ams. Thursday night, 9 o'clock with P1 and the Audi TT series. And then 9 o'clock on Friday night for the next round of the GTTCC. Week 3 or rounds 5 and 6, depending on how you want to look at it. That's what we've got coming up this week. Wednesday 8:30, Thursday 9 o'clock, Friday 9 o'clock, and then back at the same time, same place next week, 8:30 for the next round of the minis. Come and check it out. So I hope you like what you watched. If you have, give it a like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.